Oh, and speaking of circles, this is looking to be round number 1 here coming up, as I think we are just about to go live. Yeah, the warm-up coming through here, so let's get into this finally, chat. Get some hype. We do have the round coming up, as we see Mudda doing some wiggles to get into this here. Take it away, Medic, with round number 1.
I was so confused why Mudda was driving in circles, but obviously the map is aptly named. We will jump on into round number 1 here on circles of our final 2 matches of the day. There's one more left for all 16 competitors. You want as many points as possible. Currently, Binkss out to a little bit of a lead, but you can see the lines through here, very close between them all. Mudda and Binkss fighting for that first place. Kappa in the midst of them all as well. Papou has fallen back about a 10th right now as we get up towards the ice wall. As little steering as possible through here. You want to maintain as much speed as you can because the rest of the map, well, the rest of these next 15 seconds are all about keeping that speed going. Kappa and Binkss out to a lead. Mudda about a 10th behind them. We'll need to try and catch up here through this wall ride if he can. We have the drift to the left coming up as well, and Kappa with a good line likes to go high here and then work it down onto the grass over the freewheeling. Get yourself as much speed as possible through the grass. Kappa taking a slightly tighter line there than Binkss, but Binkss is slightly ahead, about a 10th. Mudda jumping into the midst of them as well. Right now, Kappa with a good transition. Trying to land high on this wall, get the grip early, get the speed early. Kappa is slightly ahead, but over the freewheeling, Binkss is going to take it. And Mudda might even take second place, not quite. Binkss in first, Kappa second, Mudda third, and Papou comes home in 4th.
Oh, and what an explosive start here. Let's take it all in, because this really is Trackmania at an extremely high, extremely competitive level. Let's enjoy these rounds for the most that we can. Second round on circles coming up here. And this really is, to me, a Mudda map. This is one where he really does excel because it matches so much of his foundation in the game. He came from full speed, and this map is a lot about maintaining your speed, managing your speed through these corners. There's not a lot of drifting, but a lot of just gentle Trackmania optimizations happening. He builds up a lot of speed here so that he can carry it into the ice turn and try to get at least 300 speed on the exit. Oh, and this is a fast one for Mudda. He will keep up with Kappa and Binkss, trying now to go all the way up into this loop. Let's see how he handles it. It's important to slide on the exit there, and you can see Mudda there beating out Kappa in that loop by building up more speed, and he's gonna go right on up next to Binkss through the drift now as they're coming into the ending of the map. Binkss right behind Binkss, chasing, trying to overtake. He will have the overtake for now. Into the first circle they go. Mudda with a very inside line will jump high as a consequence and drop down into second place, but it's still a really close race between all 4. Papou jumping low, but will lack the speed to win this one, I think. Binkss looking to take it, but Mudda could challenge just behind him, but it will be Binkss winning that one. Mudda in second, Papou in third, and Kappa finishing out now in 4th.
Binkss with 2 first places in a row. The 18-year-old on his laptop keyboard, absolutely taking it to Kappa, Mudda, and Papou here. Of course, Binkss was sitting just outside of the top 8 after round 4 at 3 points altogether, I believe. I know, 5 points altogether. So only 1 point behind Spam, who's sitting at 6. A win here would absolutely catapult him ahead. The question is, can he keep up this consistency? Currently 10 points ahead of anyone else in the race. And once again, he is up there in the lead alongside Mudda. Everyone within 2/10 of each other, though, as we get up towards this ice wall. Mudda slightly ahead, but does go a little bit wide, turning very high there on the ice wall, trying to get as much speed as he can, but will be able to keep it through this next section of the map. Now through the loop, and with only 2/10 between them, this one is anyone's game right now. Mudda once again leading the charge over towards the freewheeling section. Drift nice and high. Gets down onto the grass. Binkss trying to chase him down. Looks like they're going to be about equal speed here coming into the first part of the identity. Mudda with a little bit of a slide there is going to lose some speed on the transition, but Binkss goes low as well and won't be able to catch up with Mudda. Binkss is going to be overtaken here. You have to think Mudda is in the lead. Binkss trying to chase them down. Papou and Kappa there as well. But Binkss, with so much speed, will take second place. Less than 1,000th between Papou and Kappa in the end as well. Papou takes third. Kappa takes fourth.
Yeah, what a great ending there from Binkss to hold it down. A second placer is still really, really solid. He leads with 26 now out of 30 possible points in the first 3 rounds. Mudda also getting on the board, a very quick time there with 1:11.6. Wanna inform everyone, the world record here, a 1:11.3 set by Soldier. So it is going very close to the fastest time the players have set in practice. And they have played these maps for months now, so this is very, very solid performance so far. Going into the last round here, this is the most important turn. You want to just go high and not steer at all. Just let the wall carry you down, and then you take the speed you can build out of it. Mudda here, once again, looking the fastest before the loop, but he is the best driving in the loop and should extend this lead now ahead of the other players. Just look at how much speed he's able to generate out of that looping. It's about 0.10 ahead of the others now into the drift. Will try to maintain that speed across the grass, and he does so successfully. Has a big lead to work with here. Kappa, the closest one, but he is 1/10 behind, and that is a lead he can manage to hold on to with a good ending here. The last circle jump, Kappa going wide for the speed. Binkss going tight with the setup. Who's going to win out on this one? Kappa trying, but he doesn't have more speed than Mudda. It should be Mudda through the last corner. He will win this one. Go up to 30 points. Kappa in second. Binkss in third here, and Papou in fourth. But what a round. 3 players driving 1/11ths.
What a performance as well by the 2 lower seeds in this group. Mudda and Binkss, 30 out of 40 points for each of them here in round 1. And Binkss and, Kappa and Papou have a lot of work to do to catch up. This is where we wanted to see these lower seeds really pushing the envelope, and that's exactly what they're doing. Next up, we are going to move on to our next map, Slalom, I believe it is. Virtual, a very good map for us to get onto now.
Yeah, this is gonna be so cool to see because we are having some of the, I mean, not we have the world's best players, but these are some of the world's best players on this map specifically. Great map for Mudda, great map for Kappa, the 2 best players on this map, I dare say, in terms of consistency. Then you also have Papou and Binkss, who have really, really solid personal bests here. And Medic, I really think that all rounds here will be driven in 104s. I think it's going to be fireworks all the way through.
It's going to be 104s across the board. Currently, world record is a 104.2. We'll see if Mudda, Binkss, Kappa, and Papou can live up to your expectations, Virtual, as we go on to our first lap here on Slalom. Early on, a bit of a technical dirt section here, trying to gain as much speed as you can. These small left to right handers into the wall ride. Of course, Mudda, full speed is the name of the game for him, and he can gain so much speed through these sections. But right now it is Papou out to an early lead, then Kappa, then Mudda trying to follow up behind them. Binkss with a very tight drift there, going a little bit wider on the road as we enter onto the dirt, but maintaining so much more speed. All 4 of them within a hand's breadth of each other, and everyone clean through the first slalom. The question is, can you get through the second? We've seen Kappa fall to this before. Mudda with good lines. Binkss through as well, as is Papou. Kappa fell behind, but he is still within arm's reach of the rest of them. 2/10 between them all, and now it's down to the ice turn. This final turn, so slippy, you have to maintain your grip. Mudda does so does Kappa. Everyone does. Who's in the lead? It's Mudda. Is anyone going to catch him? Kappa is sliding out. He's hit the wall. Mudda takes first. Papou in second. Binkss in third. Kappa in fourth. And it's a 104.798.
My prediction here almost came through. Every single player managing the ice turn, but Kappa getting a bit overzealous there in the downhill, pushing a little bit too much. And the story continues to develop here, Medic. The 2 bottom seeds into the match are extending their lead now. Mudda with 10 points there, Binkss with 4, Papou getting the 6 there, getting a little bit closer, but still, they are driving at really, really high level here, as we see Kappa having to release in the start there. Going to be a bit costly, as you're not really going to gain back the time until you reach a sharp corner. This one on the grass will be where the bleeding stops. 0.13 behind, lost with that mistake. But still, nothing is over yet. This is something he can come back in the dirt. Going in for a high-speed entry, and will hit the wall on the left there. Now a 3-way battle. Papou leading up in front, but does he have the line to survive that turn? Oh my god. This is where you just have to commit and send it. Papou executing that to near perfection, will stay ahead of Mudda, and on a great time here, Papou. So far, so good with almost no mistakes. Will he survive the ice turn, though? The turnaround, he sets it up wide, but he slides out. Mudda slides out as well, and it's a complete flip on the scoreboard. Binkss and Kappa rushing down the ice, and Kappa, even after hitting the wall, will win this one with a 105.52. Binkss in second, Mudda gets third, and Papou gets fourth. What just happened?
Yeah, you can see how deadly that final ice turn is. Both Mudda and Papou just over sliding it, losing the grip, not being able to keep it together. I mean, that Kappa, even though he had that early mistake, even though he fell behind, was able to make up all of that time. Wirtual. So difficult, of course, this track to keep it all together. And we see Kappa, a little bit of experience coming to dividend hit there, still racing, even though he knew he was basically out at the start. And once again, has fallen behind here. As we see Mudda, Papou, and Binkss all going out to an early lead. Kappa will be able to regain some of that time as we get on into the grass. Holy moly, Papou went to Narnia there. Absolutely flew into the wardrobe. And now it's a three-man race as Papou is well and truly out of this one. Mudda, Binkss, and Kappa all basically on top of each other. And Papou will be kicking himself for that because he has been the best through these slalom sections so far. Kappa with a superb slalom is now about 500 ahead. Mudda trying to chase him down as well, but he's 3/10 behind. However, the ice slide so dangerous, so slippery. Kappa holds onto the grip just about. Mudda with a very tight turn, but can't quite get it. Kappa will be in a good spot here. Takes first place once again for the second time in a row. Binkss comes in second. Mudda third. Papou will come home in fourth, and it's a 104.7 there for Kappa.
Yeah, and Kappa's really flipped this now into good momentum. He started out with a last place after that crash, but since then, he's gotten, 2 more 10-pointers. And as we see the scoreboard, he has almost caught up to that deficit that he had against Mudda and Binkss after map 1. So Kappa now getting back into it. Papou falling a little bit behind. If he wants to keep up with the others, he has to deliver here. We've seen him be capable of it, but he still has to get that good ice turn. And what just happened here? We have Mudda having to release to not crash, dropping down 0.3 to the others, which will put him out of contention for 10 points for now. Binkss, though, with a great grass part there. These small details, they might look insignificant, but if you gain just a few hundreds in every corner, you can get about a 0.2, 0.3 lead going into the identity, into the ice turn that you can then work with and maybe go for a safer line. So it is important to do every single part of this track perfect to beat these opponents. Calm before the storm now as 3 players side by side going towards the ice turn. We know this to be so decisive. Binkss being third here. Let's follow his perspective as he goes off the edge, the only player to do so. Side by side, Papou and Kappa down the hill. Who has the most speed on the jump? It could be Papou to snipe it, but Kappa will hold it down for 3 10-pointers in a row and 51 points overall. Now almost claiming the lead of the match.
Yeah, huge win there for Kappa. 3 wins in a row. The first one gifted to him. The second 2 he had to take by force, and he was able to do that so successfully. Binkss sliding out at the end kind of cost him quite a lot there, but now as we move on to our next map, we are starting to see this group really shape up. Turbo Stairs next. We are wondering as well if we will see perhaps a new line when we get onto the identity, that Neo slide a possibility. Of course, we saw Soldier drifting it yesterday as well. One of the newer maps, always going to be interesting to watch. And the question really is how much practice these guys have put in. I look at the leaderboard. Papou is up there. World record is a 108.16 now, I believe, with Gwen getting a new world record yesterday. Before that, it was Massa on a 108. Oh, actually, from what I can see, world record is Scrappy at 108.215, but I think Gwen got a 108.16
yeah,
yesterday.
16 yesterday. Gwen actually drove world record in the live match, which is something that we don't really see too often, as players tend to prioritize consistency. There's a lot going on here, different lines. Mudda has the most peculiar lines out of everyone in this field, from what I've seen in practice. He uses a technique called the no slide. So on dirt, you can either slide or not slide. When you're under 235 speed, you're in the second gear of the car, and then it's faster to not slide. So watching this uphill turn as Mudda steers until he drops the gear, and then he decides to no slide around this corner to build up a little bit more speed. Same goes here, you want to be in the lower gear up the hill, so you accelerate more. You have higher RPM up the hill. And this is a battle up front that we gotta take a look at. Look at this. Binkss, Papou, and Kappa all fighting for that 10-pointer. We're coming up to the ending of the map now, the turbo stairs. 3 steps on the staircase that you have to climb, which is easier said than done. They're coming for the first one now. Very sharp to the left. You want to hit the booster as soon as possible. Build speed for the next one and go as early again. Papou with the 2 great steps, but the last one coming through. And it is so close between all 3 players. Who's going to get this? Binkss, chasing with more speed, will go into the finish line and take the first one. But they were all within a 1/10 of a second there. And Binkss now leading the match with 59 points.
Yeah, so close between all 3 of them. Binkss, Kappa, and Papou already challenging for that front spot, but couldn't quite make it in the end. Mudda was a little bit further behind, but Binkss once again showing just how strong he can be. Only 4 points between first and third in this group. Papou has been struggling a little bit to catch up with everyone else, but for now he is still very much in contention. No one even at the halfway mark, as we see Mudda slide out a little bit there at the back. Kappa now out to a strong early lead, about a 1/10.5 ahead of anyone else in the race. Binkss 2/10 down, but we have seen how much the identity on this map can really change things. All 3 of them sliding through that dirt turn. Papou falling back just a tad as he lost some speed there. Kappa and Binkss really the only 2 left in contention for first place on this round. Kappa has had a stormer of a last few rounds here. First, second so far, getting a possible 36 points out of the last 40 in this match, and he's looking for more. He's looking to make it 46 out of 50. It was a little bit wide on the identity here. Binkss with a superb line drifting up across the corner there. Binkss in a really good position. Kappa is out. Papou's trying to catch up to Binkss, but Binkss is going to make it 2 out of 2 here on turbo stairs with a stellar time of 108.6.
What a match from Binkss here. He started out so strong on circles, a bit shaky on slalom, but he's right back here on turbo stairs. 2 for 2 now and 69 points overall, trying to take control of the match. Kappa has caught up to Mudda in second place on the scoreboard, being very even there, and Papou is still a little on the back foot. Has had a great tournament so far, though Papou, he doesn't really need the points here, but 1 or 2 points would be nice to truly secure yourself in the playoffs. As in Mudda and Binkss' case, it really is do or go out right now. They need the 3-pointer more than anyone, and 3 and 2 points are going to be incredibly valuable for them in this match. So here we go in the third round. Papou in the lead across the dirt. One of the best dirt players. Binkss has dropped a little bit down. Mudda trying the nose slide here, but it's actually only losing him time. Binkss will overtake, and Mudda a little bit on the back foot here. Oh, Binkss hitting the wall though. But it really seems like Mudda has not found the flow of this. His lines aren't the fastest ones, it looks like, as Papou and Kappa are just running away here, gaining about half a second on the Australian as we're coming towards the identity. Papou in the lead. Can he get a 10-pointer now to bring him back into the match? The first step is good. He sets up for the second one. A lot of space to work with. Kappa going tight. Kappa overtaking Kappa with a great identity to snipe first place. 10 points to him. And Papou will get that second place just ahead of Binkss. And Mudda coming in fourth place there.
Yeah, 4 fourths in a row there for Mudda. Has really struggled here on turbo stairs, and I just want to draw attention to how good Binkss' identity is. He was half a second down coming into the identity there, but then 2 really good drifts really got him back into the race. And if Binkss can be even going into the identity, you gotta watch for this kid, because he is absolutely flying through those last few turns in the map. However, once again, he has fallen a little bit behind in this one. Mudda out to a bit of an early lead as we see Papou, Kappa, and Mudda all on top of each other. Binkss just a little bit behind, but can easily make up that time once again. Papou into the dirt, as you say, well known for his dirt play as we get down onto the right-hander. Everyone within about 2/10 of each other right now. Kappa only a 10th behind Papou, who is in the lead. Once again, over this next dirt section, building up towards the identity. It's kind of the deep breath before the storm here, the deep breath before we make our way up the elevator. Up the stairs we go as Papou is the one to lead the charge. 2/10 ahead right now, has a very strong lead, but he clips the wall on the first. Mudda has gone through it clean so far. Papou and Mudda fighting for that first place. Where's Binkss? He's miles behind. He's not going to be able to catch up. Papou makes it first. Kappa's going to overtake on the line as well. Mudda takes third, Papou first, Kappa second, and Binkss will come home in fourth.
Oh, and that is such a snipe from Kappa. Those 2 points might not be too significant. We have no idea, but Kappa making the most of it there. And with those 2 points, he actually takes the lead of the match. 77 now to 76. A great map there for both Kappa and for Binkss. And now we are going on to the second new map, that being the Zigzag, where we've seen Kappa do really well. He has the most unique lines I've ever seen on this map, but he makes them work. And if they work for you, if you can drive them consistent, then hey, go for it. If you can get the points with that, it's all good. The other 3 players, I think, are going to go for more conventional lines, all going for really wide speed on the dirt and trying to build up that way. You'll see the difference here in the first round, but the question really is, who can perform when it matters? Maybe it's not so much the lines you drive that matter, but how you execute them. Times of under 118 here are what we're looking for. The 117s are what you need to win these rounds, I think, and we'll really see as we get into this first round. Let's take a look at Kappa's perspective. As you'll see, he has the weirdest racing line, but he does make it work, and it does make sense what he's trying to achieve. In the start here, they're all going to jump and do a quick drift to the right to get through this turn. And now in the dirt, most players will go out wide and use this banking, but Kappa goes for the inside line. He will then have less speed on this ice jump, land earlier, and now have more speed to work with across this jump. If he survives the turn, which is harder now, he will then try to go for an inside line on the following jump. So instead of going around the pillar, he goes on the inside, drifts more, sets up wider here, so he can build up more speed towards the ice. And that is really how the Kappa line goes. The other 3, though, staying really competitive, and Binkss running away with a good lead here of 0.1 ahead of the others. Clips the inside corner, but makes it. Oh my god. Binkss going to the limit there, and maybe even a bit beyond. Somehow stays alive after barely clipping the corner. Now we go towards the identity jumps. 3 jumps on the grass here. You want to jump as low as possible, land as early as possible, and steer as little as possible on the grass to build up speed. All the 3 players making it. 1 jump remaining to the finish line. Drifting to the right here. 250 speed is needed to make the final jump. Mudda should have it. The others should have it. Binkss will win there with a 117.5. A great time from Binkss. 10 points well deserved. Kappa coming in second, Mudda in third, and Papou drifting across the screen there in 4th place.
Yeah, really good start for Binkss once again. Following on from his good performance on Turbo Stairs to kick us off, he gets another 1st place here. He is currently sitting at 86 points, leading this group with Kappa 3 points behind him. Mudda now falling 17 points behind 1st place. And when you're getting to that margin, it's like 2 wins or 2 finalist chances for Binkss over Mudda before he can catch him and get that red badge himself. Kappa once again taking this line that we've seen from him before, landing on the ice a little bit earlier. Mudda is getting some good speed. Now, last time Binkss had a really good line through here and was able to catch up with Kappa very easily. He's done it once again. All 3 of them on top of each other. Papou just slightly behind them, but Binkss takes a slightly tighter line there onto the bobsleigh and once again takes the lead. He's really got that corner down right now, but Mudda over the loop is going to get himself just a nose ahead, just a hair ahead of Binkss right now. 800s between the 2 of them. Kappa about 3/10 behind, and perhaps it's going to be between Mudda and Binkss to see who will take this one home. Kappa's trying to catch up, 3/10 down as we get through almost the last checkpoint of the map. Mudda still leading about 2/10 ahead of Binkss. Kappa takes a very low jump there, looking to try and get just that extra line through here. But into the final drift, Mudda, Binkss, and Kappa all basically on top of each other. Mudda does just about have enough speed, but so does Binkss. On the line, 200s between them. Mudda will take it. Binkss 2nd, Kappa 3rd, and Papou comes home in 4th.
Such an important 10 there for Mudda. He really needed that now as he was falling behind in the match. Fights back, gets a 10, gets closer to the others. And as you said about finalist mode, he now is almost within the range of just 1 finalist attempt for Binkss, and then he could get there himself. The format, of course, they play to 120 points. That is the point limit. When you reach 120, you still have to win 1 more round to close out the match. And so it's not over until it's over. You have to win to claim your spot at the end. But first you have to get there. 1 more round here on Zigzag, and Mudda hits the wall before the drop down here. That's going to cost him big time. Might have no say in this round. Papou and Binkss going for the wide line. Kappa with the inside line. The goal is that speed through the ice, but we've seen time and time again that the others are staying very competitive in terms of speed through the looping here. Kappa, though, overtaking Binkss for a second. Papou going very wide for the speed here. Just sends it through there. Full sending without any hesitation on where his car is. And he will go into first place for now. Can he control that speed on the drops here, though? The first grass one is good. He's lining it up for the second, landing wide to maintain the speed towards the next engine off. And with this, he holds the lead before the last drift. Binkss getting ever closer. Can Binkss snipe this away to put himself over 100 points total? Kappa is in the fight as well. They're all going side by side to the finish. Who's gonna take this? Oh my god. Papou by less than 100th wins the round. Binkss in second and Kappa in third. But what was that?
Less than 300s between first and third. That was one of the closest races I have ever seen. Binkss sitting at 98 points now as we get on into the final round of the Zigzag. Kappa keeping up with him. Papou now making a bit of a charge as well. Still at 78, but on his way up towards that 120. Of course, 120 is finalist, then you've got to win that final round to get yourself 3 points. So with only 6 points in total left available to these guys, every single one of those wins matters. Binkss clips a little bit there on the wall. He's going to lose a lot of speed, but he is still able to keep just about in touching distance of the rest of this pack. Kappa out to a bit of an early lead. Mudda here trying to do what he's done across the last few rounds, where just wants that consistency. He doesn't want to find those early mistakes costing him an entire round like we saw just in the previous lap. Here he is fighting up with Kappa at the front. Papou and Binkss chasing. Binkss is out. He smashes headfirst into the wall, and now Papou, Mudda, and Kappa are the three left in this lap. Kappa jumping down, trying to maintain that speed, as you say, steering as little as possible on this grass, but Mudda with a really strong line here is catching. Kappa being chased down by the Thunder from down under. Mudda with a good line into the final couple of corners, and Papou has taken over Kappa, and Papou has taken over Mudda as well. Papou's looking for that line, but just not quite tight enough on the drift, and once again it's Kappa on the line. Less than a tenth behind are both Mudda and Papou.
These rounds are incredible, Medic. What is this? This is Trackmania at its finest. So close rounds between all players. And they have their strengths. We can see these ends from Papou once again. Just climbing and managing the field to go all the way. And almost getting them. Now 2 players over 100 points. We are getting into the tail end of the match. And we are getting into, well, a very, very interesting map to perhaps end on here. That being Bicycle by Papou. This map is one where raw pace matters. The identity is not very hard to survive. You can see the boosters on the ice turnarounds is the obstacle course on this map, but it's really a map where raw pace will win, and you have to keep up with the likes of Kappa, with the likes of Mudda, with the likes of Papou and Binkss, who are all going to push for times under 110 here. We've seen 109.8, the world record being a 109.5. So it is going to go very fast as we get into it now, Medic. The first round of Bicycle.
Let's get on into it, Virtual. Straight away, we see everyone close, unsurprisingly, through the first few corners of this map. Not a huge amount that can really distinguish you early on here, but across the jump, it looks like everyone is relatively clean. Binkss falling back around a tenth from everyone else. And once again, we see the style from Papou where he sends it, but he sends it straight into a wall. He has been so brave across the course of these last few maps. Obviously, having fallen behind early on, you can see him just wanting to get those points, wanting to get those wins, but here it has cost him dearly. Mudda, a tenth behind Kappa, who has a good line through the dirt. Mudda is going to catch him just a little bit over the ice here. Now we're going to work our way over towards that dirt jump, and Mudda with the better line. Kappa falling back. Kappa has lost all speed here. Will only just about make the jump. Mudda, it's yours for the taking, my man. It is yours to finish. Just needs to get through the identity. Kappa and Binkss, really the fight we have to look at here. Kappa will have about a 3 to 4/10 lead ahead of Binkss coming into this final part of the identity. Binkss trying to catch up, but won't have the speed to do it. So it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 for Mudda, then Kappa, then Binkss, and Papou will bring it home in 4th.
Yeah, a lot of crashes there. Mudda just, getting the 10-pointer on a red carpet. To put him at 98, he is getting closer as Kappa and Binkss now just potentially 2 rounds away from reaching 120 points. They could have a finals attempt here on Bicycle in that last round. but who will get there first? Kappa, of course, one of the best players in the overall standing so far. The second seed into this match is looking for playoffs, and Binkss needs it more than Kappa as he's down towards the bottom of the scoreboard so far. 3 points here would be huge for the young French player to maybe put him into the playoffs. We have not had a French world champion in Trackmania since 2006, correct me if I'm wrong. So it's been a good while. We do need another one eventually. Perhaps Binkss could be the French hope here in the tournament. Papou as well, driving stellar so far, both overall and in this round, leading the charge across the tree jump. They're all gonna make it with no mistakes so far. This is going to be a very close battle down to the ending, down to the ice turnarounds on Bicycle. Who's going to get the best of this? We're going into it with Papou in first place. Mudda and Kappa close behind though. First turnaround, you want to get all the speed to build it for the second one. Papou maybe with a little bit less speed, getting caught up to the last turnaround will be so decisive between all three. Does Papou have the speed or will Kappa take him? No. Papou wins it with a 1:09.96 there. The first 1:09. Kappa in second, Mudda in third, and Binkss in fourth.
We're just concertinaing the pack here. You can see Kappa 113, Binkss 108, Mudda 102. Sorry. Yeah, that was right. I was right. Mudda 102 and Papou 91 points. Round 3 of Bicycle. Only Kappa in range of finalists. A win here would get him to it, but Binkss and Mudda can get themselves within a win of it as well, which is so vital. Making sure that your opponents do not have a lot of time with that red badge where you cannot achieve it yourself can really change the outcome of these rounds. And as we have said so many times, for Binkss and Mudda, it all comes down to getting first place here. If you don't, you are pretty much kissing your chances of making it into playoffs goodbye. Mudda especially has struggled over the last couple of days. Now he really needs to show his consistency. Now he really needs to show his speed. Binkss is out of this one. Went wide on the dirt jump, has lost a couple of times. Mudda gets over as well. Papou loses a lot of speed, and that's between Mudda and Kappa. See who can get first place into the identity. 2/10 is a sizable lead here for Kappa. Can Mudda do something special? Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat as he goes deep? But so does Kappa. More speed, I think, for Mudda, but he's not going to be able to catch all of this up. 2.5 tenths behind. He goes deep, but not quite deep enough into his bag of tricks. Kappa gets first, Mudda second, Binkss third, and Papou fourth, and Kappa is our first finalist.
Kappa reaching finalist, but Medic, I don't know if you saw that. Mudda did an incredible line on the tree jump. It's something we've seen the players try in practice. A bit for the memes, like, yeah, you can jump to the right of that tree. Mudda actually did it. He threaded his car through that gap, and as cool as it looks, it also saves time. It's a shorter jump, you land earlier, you accelerate more. Great execution there by Mudda to get him the 6-pointer. Now he is just 2 rounds away. Binkss could also get there, but first of all, they're gonna have to stop Kappa here if they want the 3-pointer themselves. Kappa, the previous world champion in Trackmania from 2018, now could solidify his playoff position if he wins just one more round here. Papou, his closest challenger in this round so far, just a car length ahead to try to deny Kappa here and keep himself alive in the match. He's really driving for it right now. The only player who can stop him, and Kappa is tasting blood in the waters here. Only 500ths to go. He has nothing to lose, no more points to gain. He just needs to win, and he's gonna send it here as he goes next to Papou on the first turnaround. Who will get the most speed here? Kappa going deep for the speed, and he should, with that, be able to overtake Papou for the second turnaround now. Can Kappa qualify for the playoffs? It looks all said and done. Kappa will be going to the playoffs next weekend from Paris. We have Papou in second place in this round, getting up to 100 points. Binkss in third, and Mudda in fourth.
Huge win for Kappa there. I apologize for the ooh in the middle of it. Mudda once again went for that right side line and just didn't quite make it. Ended up hitting on the checkpoint. Could have been an opportunity for him to catch up, but now he needs a win to make it to finalist himself. Kappa with 3 points will put himself overall at 12 points, which pretty much... Wait, is it 12 points? Yeah, 12 points, which pretty much guarantees him a position in playoffs next week. We are moving on to our next map. It is Paradise. Once again, a pretty technical map. The freewheel, the first 2 shortcuts pretty difficult. You need to make sure you maintain enough speed through the initial jump to get the second one, and then the freewheeling. So important to keep yourself over 200 speed through there, managing as much as you can so you can get into the identity with a ton of speed. Now, The question really is, with Kappa winning that, how much does that cost Papou, Binkss, and Mudda? Papou obviously was the top seed in this group, was sitting at 10 points coming into the round. Kappa is now almost overtaken him with 12. Papou should be relatively safe, but for Binkss and Mudda, they can now only get 2 points at most.
Yeah, and they really need this 2-pointer. Like, if you don't get the 2-pointer, that could be, you know, the final nail in the coffin here. It's what they're playing for, and they are in a good position to get it, both Mudda and Binkss, but I think only one of them will get out of this alive, so to speak, because the person that doesn't get the 2-pointer could be out of the tournament. Papou, I think, feeling safe with whatever happens here, but certainly gonna fight them for that 2-pointer himself. First round of Paradise, a map that we know Mudda is one of the top contenders on. First time we saw him here on the first round of the tournament, he was looking shaky. Now, when it matters most, he has to perform, he has to get rid of those nerves and perform for one more round to win, get into finalists, and then one more to close it out. Binkss trying here though. Binkss could be finalist together with Mudda here with just a 2nd or 3rd place. But here we go for the identity. Binkss actually touches, but it will be enough for him. Can Mudda win here to put them into a double final situation? He's leading over Papou, who is just a 10th behind as they go for the 2nd turnaround. Can Papou snipe? He's trying, but Mudda will hold it. And Medic, we do have 2 finalists here, Mudda and Binkss now in a sudden death round.
Yeah, assuming Binkss finishes, he's only got 4 seconds. He's not going to be able to finish this.
Oh, that's
Mudda
huge.
gets a free finalist round because Binkss, when you don't finish, you do not get the points for where you would usually end up. So Binkss doesn't finish it up, doesn't get the 4 points, and Mudda now has basically a free round handed to him. Let's see if the Australian can manage to make this count. A win here would take him through, get him 2 points, accelerate him up that leaderboard. Of course, sometimes when things are handed to you this easily, it can be difficult. You can look a gift horse in the mouth and you can struggle. But right now, Mudda close enough to Papou and Binkss to make a charge. He gets through the dirt section pretty well. Over towards this right-handed drift. Binkss and Papou still challenging him. Last time, Mudda struggled a little bit through the freewheeling. We saw Binkss and Papou taking a tighter line, making more aggressive plays, and actually carrying more speed into the identity. Here, will Mudda risk it? Will he go for that tight line? Once again, he goes wider. Look at Binkss. Look at how much speed he gains through here, but Mudda's been able to maintain just that tighter corner coming out of the end of it. Now, into the 2nd freewheeling. Keeps it close, hits the apex into the identity. You want to carry as much speed as you can through this. Currently, Mudda about a 10th ahead of Binkss. Keep it together, holds the line, just about gets through the checkpoint. 1 checkpoint to victory here for Mudda. 2 points in his grasp. He gets it 400ths ahead of Binkss, with Papou coming in a 10th and a half behind.
And that is so clutch. It's so important to get that 2-pointer if you're Mudda. Perhaps it will not be enough, but he's delivered the goods for now. And he can safely sit back now and watch. But I think he is going to have to hope for Papou here, who very importantly hit 110 points. So Papou could reach finalist in just 1 round. Papou has to win 2 rounds back-to-back to get 1 point, but no, he misses the first shortcut. And Binkss here will have a massive lead. We're talking 4 or 5 seconds. So Binkss here, it's all in your hands now to close this out and get at least 1 more point. But where does this put us now, Medic, in the overall standings? How does it look if Binkss is able to hold this?
Binkss will get himself up to 6 points, I believe, currently sitting at 5, so would be a big win for him. Spam was at 6 points starting this round. We'll have to check in with the other matches to see exactly where everything else stands. I believe we are going to see if we can jump on into one of them after this. Match 4 is where we will be going, so very much looking forward to seeing that. I'm just having a look at who it is. It's Arel, Spam, Evon, and
he had to respawn. Oh no, Papou overtakes Binkss, failing the last identity, but it's still not over. He still has the lead, but it's so close. Papou half a second behind. Can Binkss hold the last turnaround? He will have it, but Binkss making that much closer than it needed to be. He still gets the 1 point.
Holy moly, that was so close. Yeah, Binkss gets himself up to 6 points in total now. Mudda catching him only on 5. I think we are going to see if we can jump on into the